we are going to continue. And the last historical step in management, actually, maybe it is possible to say not only historical step, but historical instrument of management are connected with approaches to management. And today we are going to speak about process approach to management, systems approach to management, and contingency approach to management. Процесний підхід до менеджменту, системний підхід до менеджменту та ситуаційний contingency, досить незвичне слово, це перекладається як ситуаційний підхід до менеджменту. All these approaches are in use now. You see here is written present, okay, without T, present should be. It means that for now we have to use psychology in management, we have to use quantitative approaches to management, and we have to use these three main approaches. And today I am also presenting you these three approaches. The process approach means that a manager should use functions of management, and I do hope that you remember that there are four main functions of management: planning, organizing, motivating, and controlling. But the process approach also said that all the functions are interrelated and interdependent. So it means that it's not possible for a manager just to prepare task, a strategy, a set of tasks, and just delegate it one time and that's all. No, the strategy must evolve all the time. Generally, it's connected not only with planning, but with organizing, with planning, with motivating, and with controlling. So the management is a process, not an event. So, what is planning? We will speak about planning in details. In our third module, we will speak all the techniques connected with planning. But generally, what is planning? The planning must answer to three questions. Where are we now? I mean our organization, so we have to conduct the analysis. Where do we want to go? So we have to set the objectives for our company, and how are we going to get there? So we have to understand the future position of our company and how to reach this future position. Organizing means that we have to create a structure of a company, organizational structure of the company. If a company is rather small, so it is possible to not to use formal approaches to management. But if the company is very big, it's not possible to make some how to say informal approaches. For example, at our university, I told you several times, there are more than 100 departments, only educational departments. So without formal approaches of management, it is not possible to manage such a big company. Then, during motivation, we are setting the incentive for everybody, and we have to understand that this incentive should be unique for every unique person. We will also discuss the main theories of motivating. And during controlling, we are checking the results of the activity, if we attained all the objectives or not. And the idea is that we have a cycle of management. So here you can see at this picture a managerial cycle. So what does it mean? So we create a strategy as a result of planning function. Then we are create the organizational structure for the company. So the organizing function ends with the phrase that you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, with delegates in some task. Then you have to motivate the subordinates why everybody should do it, and then you are checking the results. And what it could be, there are two possible situations. The first possible situation is that the objectives are not attained, and if they are not attained, so we have to understand where we had the problem. Maybe we set the tasks, they set the objectives which were not attainable, so it wasn't possible to attain these objectives, or we create the wrong organizational structure, or we used the wrong incentives for everybody. So we have to change our strategy, or we have to change the instruments of implementing the strategy, something in organizing or in motivating. But it could be the second situation, that all our plans, all our objectives were attained. Does it mean that we have to use the same strategy? No, it doesn't mean so, because the external environment of the company is changing every minute, every second, and as far as it is changing, we have to adopt our company to the changes in the external environment. Thereafter, we have to revise our strategy. We have to add maybe some new objectives, and if we have new objectives, we have to transform it into new tasks, and every task must be supported with some incentive for the worker who is delegated to perform this very activity. So I do hope I really persuaded you that management nowadays is not an event that you did something and that's all. And having done something, you must be happy and you can do nothing. No, it's not like this. So the management is a process, and this cycle, managerial cycle, never ends. And two linking processes within a process approach to management are decision making and communications. Also, we will speak about these linking processes when we speak about functions of management. The second system approach to management, системний підхід до менеджменту, says that that first, any company is a system, and it has some components, some internal components. And there are two types of systems, closed and open. And open system can be characterized as a system which has some relations with external environment. And as far as any organization needs something from external environment, we can say that all organizations are open systems, because we need some resources, and we need somebody to buy our products or services. So it's not possible to be closed system now. And we have also to take into account our competitors, which are trying to satisfy the same need as our company. And the third approach is the contingency approach to management, ситуаційний підхід до менеджменту. This approach says that there is no right answers. It means that what was correct for one situation can be wrong for the next situation. So maybe it is a good idea to open very expensive restaurant in the center of the city, but it's not a good idea to open a good restaurant in the university campus. Even if the students have enough money, they do not have enough time to wait for, I don't know, for half of hour per one meal. And as for a restaurant, it is completely normal to come and to have some drink and to wait for a meal. To wait for some dish. And what does it mean to use contingency approach? To use contingency approach means that first, manager must understand all the managerial tools. So, for example, I will present you, when speaking about motivating, I will present you the several theories of motivating, how to motivate your subordinates. But the last decision, the final decision in your future work, you will do by yourself, taking into account all your ideas and experiences. Every concept has both advantages and disadvantages, and actually there is no technique without weak points. Even if we speak about, for example, a rational system of decision making, so there is, from the first view, there is everything is good. So we have using the rational system of decision making, we have the best decision. But we have to in this very case, we have to use more time and more money to gather the information as the basis for this decision-making process. So this is the disadvantage. Yes, it's more proved, the decision will be more proved, but the disadvantages are connected with the fact that the decision-making process will be longer and more expensive. The managers needs to be able to interpret the situation properly, so a manager can must understand all the techniques of analysis, and the manager must be able to match the specific techniques. So it means that after analysis. Having analyzed the situation, the manager has to choose some instrument among all the possible instruments of management. So that's all. And I wanted to add very important thing that if somebody asks you what approach is better, process approach, systems approach, or contingency approach, or in other words, what approach should we use? What approach is more important? The answer is that a manager should use all approaches in one time. He or she, I mean, a manager should use the process approach. The manager should use 4 main functions of management: planning, organizing, motivating, and controlling. The manager should use systems approach. It means that a manager should look at the company as an open system. And a manager should use contingency approach. The manager should take the best instrument of management, but for this very situation, Thank you for